Hey, what's up? This is Christopher. So I have another video here for my Final Cut Pro 10 Basics for Beginners. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to change colors, font size, etc. How you can adjust the Y or X axis of your text or your title, or you can move it around the screen where you want it to display on top of your video. All right, and to get started, up here on the top, I'm going to click on the titles and generators. And you'll see right here I have two drop downs for titles or generators, and for this particular video we're going to focus on titles. Now I want to mention my titles browser right here is going to look a little bit different than yours because I have third-party plugins installed. Now as an example, I have mlogo right here from motionvfx.com. Highly recommended website for Final Cut Pro 10 graphics or plugins, etc. But this will not show up on your Mac unless you have purchased this from Motion VFX. So some of the basic ones you'll have 3D cinematic, build in, build out, bumper, opening. You may have the credit. Trying to think some of the other default ones in here. I think elements are default. And let's scroll down. Looks like that's about it. Maybe lower thirds. You will have that as well. So it's pretty much the basics. So those are the ones that I'm going to use for this demonstration. Now I'm going to focus on, let's go with, how about we start with the 3D ones to start off with. 3D has a few more options than the basic titles. So for this, I'm just going to choose the basic 3D right here, and I'm just going to click and drag. I'm also going to hold that when you click. And let's expand this a little bit to make it a little bit longer so we can see what we're working with here. And then we'll scrub back, and then we'll move this to the beginning right here, move our playhead down here. So when I scrub over it, you'll notice that you have the basic 3D right here. So I can go ahead and modify this if I want to do so. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up your inspector panel up here on the top right, and then just double click on the purple text right here, basic 3D, and you come up here to the text editor, and then we can type this out. I'll just type in my website address. So we have this here. So up here you have 4 tabs in the top. So you have right here, you have your title inspector, which these are all your published parameters. You can change the animation style. Right now it's set to zoom. So let me just show you real quick. When I put this here and play it, you'll notice that it zooms in. Boom, it zoomed in. Now I can go ahead and change this from zoom. How about we do tumble and drop? So let's see what this looks like. We'll move the playhead back a little bit. And then now you see it tumbled and dropped into there and onto my screen. How about we go with squeeze out? So let's move the playhead back to the beginning a little bit, and then it's squeezed out. So you can also adjust this a little bit further. I could do the build in. I could uncheck mark this if I don't want it to build in. Then you could change like the speed in. You could do the fade duration, retime in, build out, speed out, fade duration out, retime out. You could adjust all the different parameters. You could also add keyframes right here if you want to make further adjustments to your title. Not going to get into keyframing right now because this is for beginners, very basic video, and that's a little more advanced, but I will get to that later on. I know I keep saying that in every video, but I just want to keep it as basic as possible. So now we can go over here to show the text inspector, and right here you could choose some different, you could do like the 2D style or different 3D styles. So let's go with this glossy green. Now when I put my playhead over the top, you notice I have the glossy green there, and then we can change this again. How about minimal 3D, which looks really good. And then we have some other 3D styles up here. We do the transparent, which looks really cool as well. And then of course you can change the type of font that you have. So let's go with, I like that. That looks really awesome or whatever. And then you could do regular bold. You can change the weight of it. You could also change the font size. So I can go ahead and make that huge. I can make it a little bit smaller. I'd probably go with something like this. We can change the color. There's all sorts of things that you can do inside the title inspector. Adjust the alignment, line space, and track in baseline. You can do all caps. These look like they are already all caps. So it does adjust it just a little bit. All cap size, you could do 80%. You could adjust this toggle here to adjust that to whatever you prefer to have it as. And then the 3D text right here, you can do the depth. If you want to change the depth of that, you notice that the text gets a little bit fatter. But this particular font, let me get a different font that looks a little bit better for this particular demonstration. How about we just go with the basic 3D, and then now let me change the depth a little bit so you can see a little bit better right there. And that looks really cool. And you can do the depth direction. So let's go backwards. You'll notice that it moves a little bit. And then we can do the weight. You notice that it gets fatter. We can do really thin font right there, which looks really cool. And then we can come up here and we're going to tap on the video inspector here. And right here we have different like blending modes. You can adjust that from normal. You can do subtract, hard light. Just show you a little bit. You notice that it kind of like seeps through. You can change the opacity down a little bit so that my background actually shows through the text. So you can adjust that. And this is all subjective right here to whatever type of look that you're going for with your file. And then I can just turn the opacity back up on here as well. You can adjust the position of it. You have the y-axis right here, the x-y-axis, excuse me. That was the x, and then here comes the y. Actually, I think I like that on the right side. So you'll notice there I just clicked on it, and then I'm just adjusting. You'll click on the number and hold with your mouse, and then just drag up or down, and it will change it. You can also tap on the double click the number and then type in. So I can just type in, say, 475, hit enter, and then it'll adjust it like that as well. You can do the rotation of it. So you can come up here if you want to rotate it. You know, maybe you want something that looks, I don't know, like this or whatever. I'll adjust it back up here. Of course, this is all, you know, your preference as to how you want your title or text to look. You can do the scale. Now note, I mentioned this on my second video. This is only scaling the size. It's not changing the font size. Those are two different things. You can scale the Y, so you can make it like really tall, or if you want to make it really small, of course you can, you know, adjust this to whatever suits your purpose, and then you just tap 100 again to put it back to normal. Whoops, and then we'll tap enter. All right, and then you can do the anchor, crop. So if you want to crop something, which we don't want to crop our text right now, so we'll leave that alone. Let's go up here, and I think I went over this in my last video too. Video roles, you can change it from a title to a video. You could edit the role, but this is a title, so I'll leave it purple. And if you change the role to something different, it will change the role color here in your timeline. Notice right now it's purple. If I were to change it to a different role, it would change that color as well. So I think that's pretty much it here. Basically, you just need to sit here and play with all this stuff. For the 3D text, another thing too, so we can show the lighting here. So let's go with, how about above? So we can change the lighting on it and do the intensity. And actually, we're going to bring that up. So even though we're at 100%, you can click on the number and drag, and it will go way past the 200%. The self shadows, you could adjust this as well. Get the shadows in here, the softness, you can adjust this. The environment, let's show the environment. You can do softbox above. How about colorful? And just notice that it added like this cool little rainbow type effect to my 3D text here. You can scroll up and down. You got woods. You got all different kind of little options in here that you can play with. The rotation, materials is something really cool if you're going to use 3D. My last video I showed you one of my favorite ones, which is right here, these soap bubbles. This one looks really cool. You know, it's just subjective though. You may not like that. Another one that looks pretty cool, you can do the carbon fiber look. Let's make this font just a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and increase the size of that. Get a look. All right, so the carbon fiber looks really cool. Just made that a little bit bigger so we could see. You could do concrete. So you have a lot of different options in here. Oops, I'm gonna highlight that so you could actually see the concrete in here. Let's go with this plastic. Looks really cool. So like I said, you have a lot of different options in here. All right, you could also change like multiple materials. So right now, see I have this metal that I just added. Let's go ahead and add multiple layers to this. So we'll come here to the front edge. And for this, we're going to go with grunge and then do like this grunge look right here. You'll notice that it changed kind of like that edge. And then you can toggle. Let me open this up a little bit just to show you different options in here for 3D text. You could add some glow to it. So let's go ahead and show this. And then we can change the glow color. So I'll do green. Let's do the blur amount just to make it glow a little bit more. And then you can do the radius to make it really stand out. So we have some matrix looking 3D text right here. Really cool. This is something you just need to play around with. Just wanted to go over how to do it and where some of the stuff is at. So let's go with a basic text now, a non-3D text. So let me just come up here to titles, and we'll just pick the, where is it at? Basic title right here. I'll click, hold, and drag to my timeline. Whoops, I added 2 of them. So let's move this over here and put the playhead here. And you can't see it because that sun is blurring that out. So let me just make this a little bit bigger so that we can see it. I'll just type in my website again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to show the face here, and we'll change the color of that from that white. And then let's get just something that sticks out. How about like a pink or something? I don't know. That looks cool. And you can fill with color. You can fill with gradients here on this. So you have like this cool gradient. And you can double click. Now if you want to change the gradient, you can click on the drop down and then double click on the fill color right here. And then let's go ahead and change that. Let's go with, actually I'm going to look at the color picker and go like this orangish blue color right here. So now we have some Syracuse University colors, sort of, not really, but you get the idea. You can also adjust the RGB. You know, you can adjust that if you want to get like something different. And then if you want to change the other side, just click on the toggle right there, and then you can pick your color. And then of course you can adjust the RGB again. You can get like a cool different type of text in here. You could adjust the angle of it if you want to add like an outline, a glow. So let me show you the drop shadow right here. Let's go ahead and show this. It is showing. And then we're going to go with a texture. Now we'll go with a color. So let's click on that. Let's go with, how about this pink, just something that sticks out. We're going to increase the opacity of that, and then we're going to move the distance of it. So now you can see we have this little outline here. I think I will bring the opacity down just a little bit. So now we also have like another 3D type text right here, even though it's not 3D. And then we could add some blur to it. And then let's move the distance just a little bit more, just so I can show you the blur right there. So you see it's kind of like blurry looking, really blurry. You bring that down and it clears up a little bit. We can turn the opacity way down. You just have to adjust to find what you like. Now with the normal text, so you do have some other options up here with the 2D styles. You know, you can go through here. This one looks really cool. The retro, that's a really cool font. That is a really cool look. Not a font, excuse me. And then you can change the typeface too, or the font. So let's see what looks really cool. Let's find something that stands out. Got some Black Ops 2 right here. Any gamers out there? So they have a Black Ops 2 text right there. Then I can make this a little bit bigger. You know, you have to adjust it. Same thing, you have all the options like you do with the 3D. You can come up here and then adjust like the position of it. Whoops. We want to adjust the Y to bring that down to the bottom so we can really see it. And we just kind of set that off just a little bit, right about so. And then you can adjust the crop and transform it and distort it. Blending mode, so if you want to do, say, the hard light, let's do overlay. So you got the background there. You see it's like the background of my video is playing through my text. Let me just play this and show you. Really cool effect right here. But just open up Final Cut Pro, start on your project, add a title to your project by clicking and dragging, and then start messing around with the parameters of it to find whatever suits your need. That's the only way you're going to learn how to get started with Final Cut Pro 10. I mean, this video is here just to show you some of the things that you can do with the titles and the text, and hopefully you found it helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask below. Please give the video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day.